Y'all, the theme of this review is going to be the dragging of Potomac. This was a good episode, but a lot of strays are going to be thrown because these girls, let's get into it. We get a montage of the girls after Lake Norman, all of them doing their little separate things. The first real scene we get is TJ and Stacy and Stacy's crash pad, where her IKEA furniture. That pad looked like she bought it pre-furnished, which is fine. Cause she got a home, she can afford a home, and she can afford a separate apartment. Good for you, girl. Because we not getting that much budget from Potomac, but it's giving like she didn't put any personal touches on it. It's like this is the furniture that came with it. I'm not gonna add anything else to it. You could have threw a little something in there, a little pizzazz or something, girl. Especially because you have that quirky personality. So I know you got some stuff you can put up in there, but it was given very bare minimum. But Stacy and TJ, they're doing a little activity where they're painting each other. And they're like, oh, well, whoever has the best painting should get something out of it. And so Stacy's like, well, what do you want? And TJ's like, I want to go to the track. And Stacy's like, well, I want to pamper you. She's like, let me cater to you, inspire me from the heart. Nothing can tear us apart. And it's like, girl, stop playing in our faces. Stacy is really playing in our faces because one, she alluded that she was having sex with somebody else in her confessional. Giselle and Karen both said that Stacy was definitely having sex with somebody when they were on an interview together. And they said that TJ was too, but I definitely don't think TJ is having sex with anyone. I agree with Wendy. TJ is not sexually active. And I want to say this about TJ. I am not big into like energies and like signs and Mercury's in retrograde and stuff like that. Like I have some friends who are big into that, but I've never been like that into it. I don't know anything about it, but something about TJ's spirit does not sit right with me. And for someone who's not big into energies and I feel it, something is off about that man. His energy just feels chaotic AF. He has the Ramona crazy eyes. His just tone is always elevated, and but at the same time, it's like something seems pent up in him, and it's probably he probably need a release. Maybe he needs to go get pampered. Not by Stacy because he clearly not into her, but maybe he needs some men to go rub on him so he can, get a happy ending. Because that's what it's seeming like. He needs something, and what is with them always doing this free stuff? Like all they do is go to the zoo and work out. How many times y'all gonna go to the zoo on top of that? Like I used to live 2 hours away from DC. I'm from Virginia. And I've gone to DC plenty of times. I've done the museums. I really go up there to brunch, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I drive 2 hours up there, get shit faced, and just enjoy my day. But I've done like other stuff up there. I've gone to the museums. I've gone to like, seen all the sites. I've actually never gone to the zoo. But is the zoo that good that we need to be going all the time? Because it seems like that's all they do. They go to the zoo like every damn day and they go to the gym every damn day. We don't ever see them going out to dinner. And it's like, okay, if you want to go with, oh, we're just friends, me and my friends, we go out to dinner. And I know TJ don't drink. He can go get a ginger ale or look, Karen not drinking. And you see her, drinking water, drinking milk, drinking something. You can go to a restaurant and not get alcohol. Like we don't ever see them doing anything else. We just see them hanging out in Stacy's place and at the gym. Eh, I don't know. Something is off about that man. Something is off about that man, and his spirit is not right. And I don't know what it is or what he's got going on, but child, I don't know. I'll give him this though. One thing about it is his body is tea. His body is at least tea from working out, but he need to clearly find some other ways of releasing because clearly the gym ain't enough. Take him to a rage room. I know y'all don't want to pay for stuff and y'all want to do free stuff, but y'all can find a cheap rage room. Take him to the rage room. But yeah, they paint each other. Honestly, Stacy's painting looked very accurate of him. The painting he did, talking about some, oh, you could put this on your driver's license. No, child, that was not it. The painter she had of you, that could have been on your damn driver's license, though. But moving on, we get to Ashley's house, and Ashley is preparing to have Giselle and Karen over. I am so tired of Ashley giving us the bare minimum. You don't have a storyline. And then we don't even have y'all noticed we never see Ashley's house. All we see, typically before it gets to like a scene of whoever's scene that is, if they're at their home, we get like a little drone shot of the outside of their house or something like that. We never see that. It's just like when Ashley was living back at the apartment with Michael. We only see the kitchen and the backyard. We don't get anything else. You're not giving us a storyline. We don't know what your damn house look like. Like, what are you giving us, Ashley? Except for a sad spread, which we're going to get into in a second. Giselle comes over. They're setting stuff up. And then, like I said, we have the sad spread. She has some fig Newtons, some hard croissants, and some cold popcorn. And I'm like, Karen's not even there yet. You got this popcorn sitting outside. By the time she gets to it, it's going to be stale. Like, I'm so tired of Potomac and their lackluster budget. Okay? I watch these shows. I watch The Real Housewives to see rich women carrying on and acting a fool for no reason. That's why I watch this show. Okay? And I was going to say I'm not expecting to be Beverly Hills rich or Miami rich, but actually I am, because for those of you who don't know the Potomac area, like, look it up. Potomac is actually one of the like richest areas in the country. And we got these girls right here. We barely see these girls working. Okay, on all these other shows, we see the girls at work sometimes. We see the girls at home. I don't know what half of these girls are doing. We barely see them working. We got these lackluster spreads. We get lackluster trips. Mia's in an apartment every freaking... Oh, excuse me, y'all. Hold on. Ooh, child. Mia is moving every 2 seconds. Okay, Karen's in a rental, even though she's in Potomac. Like, no one's giving us anything. No one's spending money on events. The only person who's spending money on events is Wendy with her $60,000 birthday party. We got her sending $500 to her mom. We got Jassi. She put a little money into the event. Even if it was her man's, at least we put money into that event. Like, no one's really giving us any luxury. We're getting very average women, okay? I want to at least feel like... I feel like the house I live in right now is equivalent to what some of these girls are living in. You know? And I want to feel like if you're not going to give me Beverly Hills luxury, Miami luxury, Dubai luxury, at least give me above average. And y'all are not giving me above average. It's giving very lackluster. But here we are, y'all. Here we are. Ashley's mom is having heart problems. She talks about that with Giselle. I hope her mom is doing okay. And it's giving Ashley just going to keep bringing up random shit, though, and throwing it at the wall to see if it sticks so she has a storyline. Because she's still shopping for a storyline at this point. Karen shows up. They start talking. They're talking about how they're, checking on Karen. They want to make sure she's okay. Actually, before we get into that, they talk about the whole Mia of it all, and Karen talk about the opioids. Mia admitted it. We found out on her YouTube channel. My thing is this. Nothing is off limits. You come for me, I come for you. Like, that's how it goes. Karen was just return and serve. Y'all know, y'all have been going low with Karen. Karen's going to go low back. It's as simple as that. So I'm not even faulting her for doing that. It's funny, though, because the way Giselle was eating that popcorn, when Karen was talking about it, she was like, I'm surprised she was eating that stale-ass popcorn, first of all. But that would have been me if the popcorn won't stale. I wouldn't have been touching any of that shit. I would have ate before I got over there. Because clearly that's what you need to do with these women. Because they're not going to feed you. All they're going to give you is some Act 2 popcorn, some old, some 10-year-old Hennessy, and nothing else. Some Solo Dixie cups. That's all we get from these girls. That's all we fucking get in. I'm sorry, y'all. This budget shit just be pissing me off. They start talking about trying to check in on Karen. And so Giselle's like, well, is it a trial? And Karen's like, I can't talk about it. And I'm like, Karen, you could at least answer that. It's a yes and no. You could do like Erica Jane when they took them damn earrings back and she kept saying, it's an appeal. It's an appeal. Like, at least give us that. You could have just said, yeah, or I'm appealing it. I'm doing this. Like, you don't have to go into detail. The other thing is this whole DUI situation, Karen, it's not that serious. Okay? Like, a DUI is a serious situation, but in a grand scheme of things, girl, it's not that serious. These celebrities, and I use celebrities loosely because y'all just reality TV stars, but celebrities get DUIs all the time. Regular people get DUIs all the time, girl. At the most, you're probably going to get some community service, have to pay a fine, maybe do a weekend in jail, even though I could not imagine Karen in jail for a weekend. But she'll be fine, girl. It's not that serious. Like, you are dragging us and you are doing the most. This whole I'm not drinking thing is for the birds, Karen, because You not drinking this season is not going to absolve all the other shit we know that you've been doing in the past seasons. The drunk calls, the ranting about race finances, like you just drinking in all the other seasons. The other thing is this too, is like you not drinking this season. Girl, you can drink, just don't drink and drive. It's as simple as that. People get DUIs all the time and they drink. Like, granted, I know there's been a lot of speculation about Karen and rehab and stuff like that. But the thing is this, to me, it looks more suspicious that you all of a sudden just stop drinking. If you want to be in denial and stuff like that, you keep with your normal habits. Just don't get out of control. So let's say, I'm trying to curb the narrative that, oh, like I have a drinking problem. You're going to see me drinking, sipping a little champagne and just not getting crazy. And I'm like, yeah, like life is going on normally for me. But no, you not drinking is putting more emphasis on it. It's doing the opposite of what you want to do. And you acting like you can't drink around these girls. You're drinking on a TV show in a controlled environment. You're not drinking in situations where you're not drinking on a TV show, I mean in a controlled environment. You're not drinking in a situation where it's like, girl, these girls are getting chauffeured around in cars. It's not like you're drinking and getting behind the wheel. You're drinking and getting in the backseat of a car, of an SUV, and going to the next destination to argue and carry on with some girls. Like, it's okay, Karen. It's not that serious. Like, I feel like she's doing the opposite. She's having the opposite effect of what she thinks is happening. Like, you not doing all this stuff is putting more attention to it. And that's why people are calling it out, girl. But it's neither here nor there. She tries to deflect and she's like, well, Gizelle, what's going on with you and Jamal? How are you feeling about him being engaged? And Gizelle don't care. That man done dogged her out. Gizelle is free of him. And I know Gizelle don't share her life, but like I said, Gizelle is busting down that tacky furniture with some men. I'm sure she is. Gizelle is doing fine. I did find it odd that Jamal didn't know, the kids didn't know that Jamal had a girlfriend, and so the kids just found out all of a sudden that he's engaged. And I'm like, well, that's strange, because I was just commenting on the last episode about how I'm proud of their co-parenting and all that other stuff. It's like, child, you don't communicate with your kids that much. Get it together, Jamal. It is what it is. The next scene, we get a scene with Wendy's family, and it really wasn't given much. They started talking about their family issues, and I feel like they shouldn't have been talking about that in front of the kids, especially we're here for the kids' graduation party, like their celebration, and you're tainting it talking about family drama. But I don't want to hear about this family drama if nothing's going to come of it. And I'm getting a feeling that we're going to keep talking about it, and then we're not really going to get any resolve. We're not really going to dive any deeper into it. We're going to get a few questions about it at the reunion from Andy, and then that's it. So if we're not going to dive into it, save it. Save it. Wendy did look cute, and I like the top that her mom had on too. I'll give them that. But other than that, it wasn't giving anything. Next scene is with Ashley. We back in her kitchen because we don't see any other part of it. Her mom's still with that bum. If there's anything I agree with Michael on, I will say this. I wouldn't have been financing your mom and his bum either. Like, I'm not financing some grown ass man who don't want to work. Okay? And Ashley's mom is clearly not leaving the man, so why are we even spending time on this? Just like Ashley may not even be leaving Michael. Why are we spending time on this, And that's probably why we haven't seen the rest of the house. Michael probably in the bedroom somewhere for all I care. I don't care. For all I know, he's in a bedroom in the back. And that's why we can't see the rest of the house. That's what it's given. Because it was the same, like I said, at that old ass apartment. That little sweat box, as Karen called it. But moving on, we get to Jassi's Super Bowl celebration. And I'm not going to get into all the fashions, but I want to do some honorable mentions. Jassi looked good. She looked good in that white. I like that little white get up she had. Mia and Ink, they actually look cute together walking into that shot of them walking on a red carpet together. It looked good. It looked good. Eddie, he looked good too. Wendy just looked regular. Now, I will say this. Did y'all notice when Wendy was walking in, like the camera was so dark? And this is the other thing about the Potomac budget. Y'all should have reshot that. You telling me y'all couldn't have the cameraman right here, a ring? You see, I got a ring light. You couldn't have a ring light behind the camera just to shine some light on her. Like, you could barely see her. It was just like a outline of her shadow. And I'm just like, come on, y'all. Like, do better. It's giving, y'all don't even try. We don't want to put the money into it. I'm tired of this budget, this lackluster budget. That's the theme of it. It's going to be lackluster budget. That's the theme of the season. That's the theme of the damn franchise. And I'm tired of it. We see these rich women on these other franchises carrying on, and then we get these average women that we can relate to. I don't want to relate to y'all. I want to see some shit that I feel like is ridiculous. But it's neither here nor there. Kay walks in with her man, and he looking real short. But at least I will say this: the difference between Mia and Ink and Kay and her man is at least Kay and her man are around the same height. Mia just towering over the man. Like if they ever at the beach, he can use her for shade. Ink can use Mia as like a beach umbrella pretty much. Like he could just stand under her and he'll be fine. But TJ comes to TJ look a damn mess. I don't know what's going on with this man. Like I said, his energy is chaotic. Something is wrong with that man, and then he can't dress on top of that. I don't know. I was looking forward to seeing where it goes. Now I'm past it, girl. Get him off my screen too. He comes in. Kay confronts Mia. She hugs everybody. She don't hug Mia. Then she confronts her about this whole drug dealer situation. I'm like, girl, like we're still holding on to this. You should be glad. And now I agree with Giselle. And ironically, right message, wrong messenger. Because Giselle's talking about, oh, what you said, how it could have been misconstrued. It could be damaging to him since he's a social worker. I'm like, girl, not coming from a relationship killer. Okay, I know you have no room to talk with your track record, but you know what? Because of how you've been acting this season, I'll allow it. I understand how things could be misconstrued. Yes, it's bad. But the thing is, this is the nature of the beast. And yeah, we get entertainment by unsavory means, but I'm like, girl, that's not the worst thing that can happen to you. These girls are over here attacking people about their DUIs, talking about rehab and opioid addictions. Like, they're coming at each other hard. So if you can't handle this little, like, oh, your ex was a drug dealer, and Mia did clarify in the last episode when they were in Lake Norman, she at first did say his man, and it got a little bit murky. But then later on, when it got into it the second time, she clarified. She was like, "Oh no, I can tell he's a social worker." She said it at the table in the lunch. She was like, "Oh no, I know it was your ex. I can tell your man is a social worker." Like she clarified it. So it's like, girl, why are you still holding on to this? Because the girls get dirty. And if you can't handle this little bit of mud, girl, you need to get out the kitchen, go with Jacqueline and sit at the kitty table and let the girls cook. Because what they gave you was light work compared to what these other girls are getting. Look what Karen has been going through all these seasons. Like I said, look what everyone's been going through all these seasons. They really go hard at each other. So yeah, if you can't handle it, girl, next, you gotta go. It's given with Kay that because of the big drama that happened at the end of the season, they thought that that was going to explode into this season and that like the Ashley and Kay thing was going to carry on and it was going to be bigger and nothing really has came of it so far. And so I'm kind of wondering like, okay, Kay, like what are you giving us also? Because she's really not giving us much. She can't keep up with the girls for real. Like she was hanging in with Mia when they were at the house going at it. When they were in the restaurant going at it, Mia was kind of getting her together. And then even here, like Mia apologized and she's like, oh yeah, I can tell he's a social worker. And I'm like, girl, she's apologizing, but still digging at your man. And you're not even catching it. You're just like, oh, okay, girl, as long as you know. No, girl, like come at her, come at Ink. And it's just giving Kay can't keep up. But she here, it is what it is. What happens next? Jassi gives a speech, and let me look at my notes because what did she say in the speech? She said, what's for you is for you, and no one can take it away. What's for you is for you, and no one can take it away. That was a message to all those baby mamas. She said, I got him, and you ain't getting him back. Okay, Jassi, girl, you a mess, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it so far. That was funny. She said, "Look, I got him now," but they meet Jassi's man, the football player, and they're feeling on his arms and like they're like, "Oh yeah, I see why." And I'm just like, his arms are not that big. TJ got the guns. Like, have y'all seen TJ in a shirt? Like I said, he a mess and his energy chaotic AF, but that man is swole. Compared to Jassi's man, Jassie man arms look like my arms. And like, my arms ain't that big. You can't see much. Look, I don't really work out. I ain't got much. But Jassie man arms look like regular, I work out arms. Like TJ look like I'm buff arms. Those are arms they should have been feeling on. But it is what it is. Mia confronts Karen because Giselle told Mia about the whole opioid comment. And so she confronts her, and Giselle's like, hold on, y'all, let's go to the side so we can talk about this. She takes them to the side, and 2 seconds later, though, all the girls are over there. Like, y'all, I just got away from y'all so I can try to resolve this, and now y'all are all surrounding us. Like, what was the point? But they start talking, and Mia's talking about, oh, I'm coming from a place of concern. And I'm like, Mia, no, you're not. You showing her charges to the camera on your phone. You talking about she needs to go to rehab and stuff like that. That's not you showing that you're coming from a place of concern. Just stop it. You tried to go low. Karen went lower. You can't handle Karen. And so now you're trying to like double back. No, that's not how this works. My thing is this: you can be shady and show concern. Giselle was being shady and showing concern, right? Having a drink called the Grand Dame that's non alcoholic and putting it on the menu and writing non alcoholic, that's being shady. And then showing, like, Giselle's been generally showing concern. I even believe to an extent that Ashley is showing concern too. Like, Ashley made a good point, like I said in that one episode, when she's like, look, we've all had our seasons. We know how housewives work. Everyone gets a season where it's hard and you wish that like people let up on you. And so when it happens to somebody else, that's why you give them grace. Ashley has not been going as hard at Karen as she could. And I believe that is her actually showing some grace. Mia, what you have been doing, you have not been showing no grace. So cut the shit. Now, I will say this, though. I am 100% glad Mia is coming at Karen because if no one else is going to do it, if Giselle's not going to do it, if Ashley's not going to do it, someone needs to do it. I'm 100% okay with it. But it's like, if you're going to do it, stand in that shit. I'm okay with you coming at her, but stand in it, double down on it, and keep going. Don't try to feign this fake concern, girl. Get out my face with that. But Cameron lets her know, she's like, look, I went low. I'm sorry for going low. I can't remember if Mia apologized or not, but Karen was like, look, if you go low, I'm going to go lower. And Mia's talking about something, I'm going to go low too. And Karen said, yeah, you low like some low hanging balls. Mia's like, oh, you know about some low hanging balls. And Karen is like, no, you know about public balls. Like, Mia, just stop. I applaud Mia for trying, but Mia, you not hanging with Karen, girl. These girls need to stop. When they gonna learn, they need to stop coming for Karen. Like, y'all need to give it up. Karen is gonna always give it to y'all. Karen's gonna always be ready. Karen, stay ready so she ain't gotta get ready. Okay? So y'all need to just let it go. But yeah, Karen was gathering her. You can tell afterwards, they try to make it seem like, okay, yeah, we've come to a good place. No. Karen does not see it from Mia. You can tell by her face. Karen was sitting there like, I don't think Karen will ever see it from Mia in real life. I don't. I absolutely will not. And I understand. I don't blame her. Mia is trashy. I love her for TV, but she is trashy. It just is what it is. All right. That was the end of that event. What happened next? Next, we get the Karen and scene with her. Who was it? Her cousin? It was her cousin. She had a scene with somebody. It was Karen and her cousin. And I will say, this is the most we're ever going to get out of Karen. So we just got to take it at face value. Now, with this, two things can be true at the same time. Karen has been through a lot. Karen has been through tax issues. Karen has been through, marital issues. Karen has lost both of her parents in a very short period of time. On top of that, and this couples into another thing, like she's going through all this stuff. And I know we're like, Karen's not sharing a lot and the girls are talking about that. But it's like when you look at the history of the show, why would Karen open up to y'all? Y'all have done nothing but bully Karen. Karen can handle herself, but y'all have bullied her since the beginning. Y'all have shown up at her. Y'all have talked about, her finances and her living situation. You wore a t-shirt making fun of her taxes, talking about free Uncle Ben. Y'all showed up dressed as pizza people to prove that she didn't live where she was living. Y'all constantly bully her to the point that she stormed off a reunion crying because y'all were bullying her while her parents were dying and nobody really checked in on her. Like, why would she open up to y'all? Make that make sense. And so it's like she's going through all this stuff and y'all are just adding on top of it. And it gets you into a dark place. And so I can understand that it's like Yeah, her parents may have died a long time ago. The tax issues and all that stuff may have been behind her. But it's like, sometimes when you drink and you're alone and, those memories come flooding back, it can happen at any time, you know? So two things can be true at the same time. That, but also, Karen, you have a problem. Okay. Like I said, we've seen your track history with you getting drunk on the show. They've talked about you making drunk calls and cussing out Robin. We've seen you get drunk and rant about your finances and how you had to bail out Ray and saying a whole bunch of stuff you knew you shouldn't have been saying, or you should have been saying because, we need the tea. But you didn't mean to say. Like, we've seen all these things. You've been to rehab way before all of this stuff was happening. So, like I said, two things can be true at the same time. She's going through a lot, but girl, you do have a problem too. Okay. That's where I feel about that. But yeah, that's the most we getting out of Karen. So we just got to take it. Okay. Mia and G. Mia and G. Ciao. Where do I even start? Mia in the house with Ink. G comes in. The kids are there. They get into it, right? And my whole thing is this: it's giving they're pulling stunts and shows at the expense of the kids. Because G's sitting there talking about, I said I wasn't going to film with him. I'm not doing this, blah, 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 blah. But when you walked in the house, you were not mic'd. We can tell you weren't mic'd because when you were talking to the kids about their iPads and stuff like that, the audio was really low. When you walked out after this whole confrontation, you had a mic pack in your hand and you were taking it off and you were walking out. So it's giving you walked in, y'all was about to, film the scene. You had to stop. They had to pause filming to get you mic'd up and then y'all continued to film the scene. So don't give me that. Y'all are giving stunts and shows. And honestly, what this is giving, like I said, is this is just three shitty people exposing, like taking advantage of these kids. Okay? Y'all are declassing the show. I'm going to allow it because Potomac's not giving us anything else. I'm okay with it. But frickin' fraud, Mia and G and Ink, they're declassing the show. That's what it's giving. They start arguing, and my whole thing is this. Like I said, everyone's at fault. Everyone is at fault for this whole situation. G, if it wasn't for you, like none of this would have been on TV if G didn't bring this up. G was the one who brought up Mia walking in on the kids. G was the one who brought up the paternity, you know? And then let's rewind though. Mia, you're at fault for this because you shouldn't have allowed your kids to walk in on you. Just like they said at the beginning of the season when you didn't protect your kids, you shouldn't have mixed the kids in this situation at all. So you're at fault for that also. When y'all got together, let's rewind even more. At the beginning, you were messing with G while he was married. It's giving, G was, we see this power dynamic all the time on Housewives. We have the rich older man and a young PYT. And this is gonna end one of three ways. Rarely they live happily ever after. Typically, someone's gonna age out. Either the girl is gonna age up and the man is still rich and looking for a new young girl, or the man is gonna age up and his finances are gonna dry out. One of those three things are gonna happen, and I have no sympathy because y'all ruined the marriage in the process of getting together, and now look what's happening to y'all. So I have no sympathy for anybody. These are just three shitty people in a situation, like I said, exposing each other and trying to get a check because they got kicked out of the family business at the expense of the kids. That's all this is, and it's sad. And then Ink is just thirsty. Okay, he do a better job at G because before any previous seasons, G was always messing up the script. Ink knows the script at least, like I said. And the thing is after G had walked out, Ink kept looking like Ink would not stop making contact with the camera. He wasn't even like, Mia was sitting right here. The camera was right here. Mia's talking to him. So I'm about to cry. And Ink is just like, just staring at the camera. And I'm like, y'all are some thirsty heifers. The things y'all will do for a check. It's just some very thirsty heifers. But yeah, I have no sympathy for anybody in this situation. The scene was okay. It gave some good TV, but it's just like I said, this is very classless. At the reunion, and I hope this doesn't drag on past this season, just bring Maury on. Let's have Maury come in, figure out who the father is. Somebody needs to go run off the stage. The camera better be chasing behind them. I want the whole 9 yards. Okay? I want the whole 9 yards. But that's my feelings on the show, y'all. Let me know what y'all think. Bye, y'all.